What's up, Internet? We're going to play Plants vs. Zombies, and we're going to play Pyramid of Doom. This is our first attempt at it. We're going to see how far we can get. We're going to choose Bloomerang here. Going to skip through Crazy Dave's introduction of Pyramid of Doom. You may see me hit my recording software button on the right a few times during this video. I'm not sure. I apologize if I do. Unfortunately, it's positioned in just the best way that if I try to click that tile over there in the top right corner down one square, I'm probably going to hit it. So if that happens, just ignore that. We're going to start with planting a few sunflowers here on Pyramid of Doom level 1. Hopefully we can get all the way through level 2 in this video today. We're just going to collect some sun, plant some sunflowers, plant some pea shooters, as well as walnuts, and possibly the bloomerang. Fortunately, the tombstones are far enough away that they're not an issue at the beginning of this level. In some of these levels, unfortunately, you're going to have to bring the, I believe it's called the Grave Buster. You sit him on the tombs and he eats right through them. But you may have to bring him on some of these levels, unfortunately, because I'm not sure if the tombstones spawn in the same position every time you play Pyramid of Doom, but sometimes they can be really close to the sunflowers, and you just won't have enough space to plant the way you normally do with, 2 columns of sunflowers and then your offensive plants. So, unfortunately, that can be an issue, but it wasn't an issue in this stage, which is really cool. Especially in the beginning when it's not even an option. That's usually when I feel Pyramid of Doom would be the hardest, is if you're just starting and you get unlucky and you require some of the better plants, but you haven't even had access to them yet. At the end of every level, you get to select a card, and that card will, of course, allow you to add another plant to your inventory until you have the maximum amount that you're normally allowed to bring into a level, and then you can go from there. Your mowers, your plant food, as well as power-ups earned through selecting cards instead of plants at the end of levels, all carry over to the next level, so it's really important that you do well and try to ration every single thing you have so that you can try to prolong your survival. Sorry. Anyway, you can see I still click that stupid button over in the corner there, and here come more and more mummies. Here come the camouflage zombies. Mummies, rather. They're not that powerful. I usually prefer to have a bloomerang or two in their row, and usually they're fine, especially if you can get them trapped behind a walnut. It usually takes them quite a while to defeat it. They also move very slowly. The sun stealers, the pharaohs there, they're not that powerful either. They tend to stop every time a sun appears on the screen and do their best to steal it from you, which unfortunately sucks, but at the same time they move so slow, and even though I actually believe they move the same speed as the mummies, but they have to stop to try to steal the sun, so periodically you'll see them stop, raise their little staff there, and try to steal the sun, and that really affects how quickly they can move, which is nice. You need to try to use your plant food as I just did to try to make sure that you can preserve your mowers. Normally in levels, especially during regular gameplay in levels, it's usually not a terrible idea to let them get to the mowers at the end of the final wave, because you're guaranteed to win the level anyway. But the largest problem with doing something like that right now is that now you would lose a mower and it wouldn't carry over to the next level. So here we go to Pyramid of Doom level 2. Of course, you can see the awesome advertisements. It's a freemium game that forces you to pay for many things, and yet they're still posting advertisements, which was actually a new function that just added in the latest update. Here are Crazy Dave's explaining what I just explained about how many things carry over, so ration your stuff. Anyway, we're going to choose the Grave Buster just to be safe here in case we get some unlucky tombstone patterns here. Fortunately, you can see the tombstone patterns before you even select your plants, so we'll know ahead of time if we even need to bring the Grave Buster. In this level we didn't need to, but we're forced to select all of our plants. Right there is a strategy you'll see me do quite often in the beginning. I will use plant food on a sunflower if I'm already at max plant food, especially if I don't think the level is going to be that difficult with the zombie selection. So I'll go ahead and plant some sunflowers, and I'll use the plant food to get an additional 150 sun near the beginning of the stage, and that will usually help a lot later on. Again, the tombstone pattern really wasn't that poor on this level either. Pretty simple. They're all closer to the mummy's end of the stage rather than my end of the level. So we're just going to continue to plant some pea shooters to keep the mummies at bay. You can see how close you can actually plant some pea shooters and keep the mummies at a safe distance. It's actually much closer than you might think. And with that said, we're just going to continue planting here. We need some more sunflowers that We had to delay that a little bit there to plant some pea shooters as the mummies continued to come faster and faster. Over in the top right there, you see we got the cone zombie coming down. I planted a walnut there to try to keep him at bay. Hopefully we can do so, and he won't eat through it too much here. We still only have one flag on this level, which is very nice. One flag levels are much easier since you don't get those huge waves of zombies over and over again. You can see I hit that stupid recording button again, trying to plant a walnut on that tile there. One strategy that you may see us use later is that we may plant multiple plants sort of out of order. Usually there's symmetry to the layout I have. Usually you'll see 2 columns of sunflowers, a column of the cheapest offensive plant that will keep the beginning mummies at bay, and then usually we'll save up for more powerful ones, like you can see the bloomerang there. Normally I'll do a row of bloomerangs, and then if we have everything under control, I may continue to save up the sun to just keep doing column after column of bloomerang. But that being said, sometimes, especially in a situation like this where they're starting to come faster and faster, now we have a huge wave approaching, and we still have a lot of room on the, I guess you would call it lawn, but it's not really, it doesn't really look that much like a lawn. In a situation like this, you'll see me planting a lot more random offensive plants just to get them out on the field and take up some of that empty space there. It kind of goes away from the symmetry, but at the same time we're able to plant more offensive plants, which at an early stage like this is really all that's important. You don't really have to plan too well. As you can see, that buckethead almost got to our mowers there. He came within 4 spaces, which I consider pretty close for a buckethead that still has his bucket. So I removed the sunflowers and I'm starting to plant offensive plants, and I also added a walnut. Now we're back to max plant food, and we completed Pyramid of Doom level 2. This, unfortunately, is going to be where we're going to have to end this video. I would like to continue, but I'm sure these levels are going to increase in length as we go on, so we're going to stop now. Another beautiful advertisement. So, that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and remember to smile.